One of our company's values is that we value feedback, and it's part of everyone's basically monthly life at that Printful. So you have employee reviews at least twice a year when you exchange feedback and you agree on the goals for every person. So he also knows what he has to achieve in the next 6 months. So it's important thing.
Bonjour, vous êtes sur le point d'écouter un nouvel épisode du Panier, le podcast e-commerce dans lequel on décortique les recettes gagnantes des acteurs du commerce en ligne. Mon objectif est de dénicher avec vous les meilleurs conseils et retours d'expérience pour se lancer et progresser dans la vente en ligne. Acquisition, parcours client, outils, plantage, réussite, apprentissage, on abordera ici tous les sujets sans tabou. Je suis Laurent Kretz, cofondateur de Cosa Vostra, agence de conseil tech et créative. Avec la meilleure équipe du monde en conception, créa, dev et contenu, j'accompagne des boîtes de toute taille dans leur stratégie digitale. Contactez-moi sur lepanier@cosavostra.com, sur LinkedIn ou sur notre site cosavostra.com. Bonne écoute. Mes très chers auditeurs, aujourd'hui j'enregistre un épisode un peu particulier, celui que vous allez écouter, puisque je l'ai enregistré en anglais. C'est la première fois, ce ne sera peut-être pas la dernière, et c'est à vous justement de me le dire. Donc n'hésitez surtout pas sur LinkedIn, par mail comme vous le souhaitez, à me dire ce que vous en avez pensé, si c'était compréhensible et si ça vous intéresse que je reçoive plus de e-commerçants internationaux. Moi j'en ai envie, mais je suis pas sûr que vous ayez envie de m'écouter parler en anglais. Bref, aujourd'hui je reçois donc le Chief Marketing Officer de Printful. Printful, c'est une boîte qui fait du print on demand et dropshipping. En gros, vous pouvez le plugger au cul de votre CMS e-commerce pour rajouter une ligne de produits qui est imprimée avec vos designs, vos logos, ce que vous voulez. Donc, si vous vendez, je ne sais pas si vous avez un restaurant, vous pouvez sur votre site vendre des t-shirts, des mugs avec le logo du restaurant. Pourquoi est-ce que je voulais les recevoir ? C'est une énorme scale-up européenne. Ils sont fondés il y a 7 ans. Aujourd'hui, ils ont fait 120 millions d'euros de chiffre d'affaires en 2019 avec une croissance de fou en 2020. Ils sont 1800 employés. Ils sont dans 8 ateliers de fulfillment à travers le monde. Ils ont commencé aux États-Unis, fondés en Lettonie. Ils sont basés à Riga, c'est une boîte européenne. Mais ils ont attaqué directement le marché américain. Et ils ont évidemment cartonné, ils écoulent plus d'1 million de produits chaque mois. Enfin, c'est vraiment fat. J'ai reçu le Chief Marketing Officer qui s'appelle Raitis Purins, excusez la prononciation, et on a parlé de la croissance, du business du printing, du marché américain, du marché européen. On a parlé d'onboarding parce que comment est-ce que tu passes de 0 employés, enfin de quelques employés, à 1800 en l'espace de 6 ans. C'est un truc de fou en termes de culture, en termes d'onboarding, en termes de valeur. Comment est-ce qu'ils ont évolué ? Lui, qui est directeur marketing, quand il est arrivé, il avait 5 personnes. Aujourd'hui, 5 ans plus tard, il en a 90. Comment tu fais pour faire croître une équipe comme ça sans te prendre les pieds dans le tapis ? Il se trouve qu'en plus, il est champion de handball. Et du coup, il y a un lien évidemment avec son approche du management. On en parle énormément. Et bien sûr, on parle du marketing de Printful, SEO, les partenariats avec Shopify ou autres plateformes e-commerce, les marketplaces comme Etsy, le social media, l'impact de cette convergence de tous les acteurs des réseaux sociaux vers le e-com. On parle de leur channel YouTube qui cartonne, de leur Content Factory. Et de ses équipes. Voilà, c'est un épisode franchement passionnant qui est en anglais. Alors, moi j'ai vécu un bout de temps aux États-Unis, j'espère que vous arrivez à me comprendre. Lui, il parle très très bien, avec son accent, mais il parle très très bien. Dites-moi, je vous en prie, si ça vous a plu sur LinkedIn ou par mail quand vous aurez fini l'épisode. Très très belle écoute et transparence totale. Il se trouve que Printful est un sponsor du panier, mais c'est aussi la manière dont j'ai réussi à les avoir sur le panier pour cet épisode. Je vous souhaite une très belle écoute et have a good day. Bye. Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to today Raitis Purins, who is the Chief Marketing Officer. That's your title. I didn't check, right? Of Printful. Printful is an on-demand printing company that Raitis is going to present in a second. Hello, Raitis.
Hi everyone. I'm probably sorry that I'm speaking in English. I know just je t'aime in French, so I will do my best to speak English probably.
Yeah, je t'aime is good enough, and je t'aime, chère audience, is a great thing to say. Anyway, Printful is an amazing scale-up. I dug out numbers from like a year ago, maybe a year and a half, with like 7 employees for fulfillment centers, 40 people in the marketing team, and I just brushed them up with Raitis. 1,800 employees right now.
Yes, 1,800 employees worldwide, and
90 people in your team.
Yes, 90. The 90th person started on Monday, and still I know that there's more to join and following weeks as well.
That's amazing. When you Raitis joined the company 5 years ago. You had 5 years ago, right?
5 years ago.
Yeah, you had 5 people in your team. 90 today, more soon. Public communicated revenues were of 120 millions in 2019. We'll talk about the COVID and see if it increased the growth of the company. It's an amazing scale up, and something that I need to say also, it's that it's bootstrapped, no external funding, which is honestly quite amazing. You're based in Riga, in Latvia, but you have offices in the US and partners or offices across the world also. We'll talk about that. So the subject that I want to talk about with you today is first I want to understand the scale up and the startup adventure that you've been living, a real roller coaster, I guess, over the last 5 years, but a roller coaster only going up. I want to understand the market of dropshipping, print on demand, who your partners, who your clients are. I want to understand the culture, which is a question that we have at Cosa Vostra. A lot of people have in their companies. How do you maintain, evolve your culture, your values from 10 people to 1,800 today? I want to talk about marketing. To generate 120 million revenues 2 years ago, maybe more last year. I want to understand what the triggers you have, if you have a content factory, how you build your team, how you organize your marketing team. And that should be enough for the first interview.
Those are great topics, and happy to share what I have learned during these years at Printful and how we're doing our business. So let's get into that.
Great. Raitis, thanks again for accepting this invitation. What's the market you're in?
It's big market and still growing. So we are print on demand drop shipping company, and then I want to sometimes, like, the easiest answer, what we do, we help people achieve their dreams. So many people want to start their own businesses, e-commerce businesses, and it's an easy way how to get started. So the only thing you need is an idea what you want to put on a product, on a t-shirt, stuff, and we'll do the rest. So we'll do the boring part. We'll fulfill the item, ship to the end customer. Have to just come up with the thing you want to put on a t-shirt or a hat, and get someone to actually buy that from you. So our market is like, we started in the US, so that's, I know they are more entrepreneur ready. So there's more people wanting to do something on their own. Sometimes you can also become an Uber driver if you want, or you can launch your e-commerce business. So that's also selection. There are many artists, many creative people. So it's another way how you can basically earn a living by selling your art. And the one way how to do that is put on a phone case, mugs, and other products or posters. And another part is also amazing way how to monetize your current business. So one of the, for even a couple of the years, what's pushing our business is social media growth. So there are so many of these new celebrities or stars who has a huge following. And one of the ways how you can also monetize that audience is by offering your own merch. And it's have never been easier to start offering your merch. I know maybe some people remember that. I know everyone, and then in the past has had a dream to, I don't want to launch my merch line. And what did you do? You found a guy or a company and you ordered, 20 different designs, 20 different products. So you spent, probably more than even $1,000 or euros on that. And now we actually remove that, that first payment you need to invest. You have to just now publish it online. And if someone will buy, so you'll actually not spend the money, you'll earn money from every sale because you're the one who's in charge of the end price. You charge those, t-shirt with one design is €9. You can sell it for 20, 30, 50 euros. It's up to you. So it's the market.
It's the way the company started, right? You tried to solve a problem that you faced. I mean, the founders faced in a previous experience.
So yes, before Printful, founders had basically. There's even one step before, and there's a couple of more companies part of our basically group, and we needed a cool posters for office, like something a cool startup want to put on the walls. Like, we have posters: get shit done, fail, learn, experiment. I know it's not done until it's shipped. So something so cool, and we designed them ourselves because we were not happy with those we found online. So we put them on our walls and decided to start selling. That business went pretty well, but with posters, it's easy. You just buy one machine, cut the poster, ship it, and that's it. And you can do that on demand pretty easy. But as soon as you want to add apparel or mugs, that's a huge inventory. So colors, sizes, and a lot of effort to actually get it done. So we're looking around to actually, is there someone who can do that on demand, quickly, fast? There was some companies, but it was pretty manual, and those are dad and mom shops somewhere who are doing that on the side while keeping their shops alive as well. So when we've decided to, hey, let's launch Printful and basically offer this on-demand, fast fulfillment, everything done through the basically help of devs. In some ways, I said that our company is basically founded by devs who learn how to print stuff on a t-shirt.
Developers, right?
Developers.
Yeah. Your company was founded by developers who learned how to print stuff on t-shirts. That's fun.
Yeah.
The competitive markets. When I think about on-demand printing, I don't know any other actors. I mean, on the top of my head like this, but anything like paper, I would think of companies like Vistaprint. I guess they didn't take the same turn as you did, right?
So
because you're a white label platform method to print my products, my designs from my website. If I'm an influencer, from my business, my fashion line, I guess, right?
So Vistaprint is in some way you can call it our competitor, but it's on-demand production. So we add print-on-demand drop shipping. So if you need a business cards or t-shirts for a company, probably on top of the head, you'll go to the Vistaprint because you order 20 t-shirts, something like that. But in our case, we have no minimum. So if you need one product, we'll do that. And with drop shipping, you're not just buying a service that you get a product on printed on a product and you'll receive to your office, to your home. But the idea that we do much more. We do the packaging. You get amazing shipping prices all over the world. You also get those fancy integration. You can easily launch a store with Shopify or Etsy or Wix or Squarespace. And we constantly add more products. And everything is no minimums. And you don't have to pay anything if you're not selling anything. So we constantly need to thrive that you're actually successful. Otherwise, there's no business for us. So there's no subscriptions fee in our business. So we constantly need to think the way, okay, how can you sell more? Or you can get to the first sale that you are happy with what you're doing, and then we'll just benefit. Our business will benefit from that.
You said a lot of interesting stuff, and I want to get back to some of it. You started the business in the US.
Yes.
How come? I mean, we talked about it while preparing the interview, cher audience. It's it's a common mistake that a lot of French entrepreneurs used to do in the past, do way less today, but it's starting a business in French for the French market. Sometimes it makes sense because it's localized, because it's I don't know about the French law or something, but basically when you have a product that can reach much larger audiences, starting in French for French people is such a mistake. So you started in the US, right? And you're in a much smaller country than we are in France. I mean, not that much, but so.
Yes, I know. It's the best country probably to start a new business, new idea, because still not so many people know that you can launch a merch store so easy, that print-on-demand drop shipping exists, that not even Printful exists, but that category exists. So if you want to launch a new category, have to go to the biggest possible market. So there's more than 300 million living. They know English. Most of Europeans know English as well. So it's a great...
And you said something interesting. They have a culture of entrepreneurship.
Yes, and so they are more entrepreneur ready, and then they have many artists, so you can find any niche there as well. So if you can also compare that, I have a comparison a bit away from our customers. So there's a store who's selling merch to Catholics who got just divorced, and they're selling merch to that audience. So any niche you want to target will be just bigger in the US, will be just bigger outside your own country. So you can find anybody there. And in there's another reason, could be, so constantly people are looking for side hustles. There's living cost and... Side hustle. So someone you want to do like as your hobby, which also you give this extra income while you're doing also your full-time job. And Americans are looking for that. So they want to get this passive income on the side. Okay, I'm doing my full-time job, but I also want to do something more fun. Many ways people start their e-commerce store that they could become their own bosses. So they dream that this will be their full-time gig, and they will just stop going to the office 9 to 5, and they will do this on the side. But in some ways, you just need this side income it will be just a better life. It will be easier for you to live in the US as you have more income. So that's in US, they're looking for that.
Do you know how they started the business in the US? You were not here at the time, right?
I know the story. So
please tell us.
Yeah, so our co-founder, Raitis Purins, he has some bunch of successful companies in Latvia. So he had a choice. He probably had also an option, I will now chill and relax. I have successful companies here in Latvia. Basically, I can just chill for the rest of life. But he's an entrepreneur, so he can't just chill and sit. So when he went to the US and started a bunch of different companies. Some of them were not successful. One of them also was Starter Vitamins, so he decided to start selling that. And from Starter Vitamins became Printful. So, and he wanted to do something big, and he still, we are now actually doing the same mindset also in Printful. So a couple of months ago, we hired a project manager just for Printful, who uses Printful resources to try to launch another company. We have created some internal tools for our own, and let's try to make them public. I know in some way Amazon is doing that as well.
Amazon with Amazon Web Services.
Amazon Web Service. So basically, they created something for themselves and decided to sell. That's why they're so successful, and their revenue is growing. It's of course e-commerce, but web service is much more profitable business for them. So we are trying to go through the basically same mindset. Can we launch a business? So that's why we went to the US and.
So he went to the US, starting a few businesses around the print on demand, or
no,
very different.
Very, very different. I know one of the ideas were that there was a photographer in the marathon, so basically capturing photos, and then by adding your number which you have on the shirt, you could find you. So that was one of the ideas, if I remember. Probably many more, which I even don't know. So and I think in total in Latvia and the US, our co-founders have started more than 100 different ideas.
Wow!
And now currently around 10 exist.
Interesting. It's a very test and learn approach. Yeah. Is it something that is still accurate today in Printful?
Yeah. So basically experimental culture, and it's also an important part of our marketing team, because you have to constantly find new ways how to market your products, new channels. I know Clubhouse, they constantly also someone else is launching new channels. You have to just test. So, for example, also in the marketing budget, we have a percentage which we can probably use to learn and understand, because you're not always sure there will be any return of investment back. So you have to just invest that money and see. Maybe it works, maybe not. And so we have that part of our culture, that it's fine to lose some money as well. You are learning something and for the next time. Maybe you find a next big thing, then let's scale it up. If not, let's learn, move to the next thing, because you will always have some sure bets which you are constantly investing more and more money and then time that we know that will help us grow. But we have to constantly look for another way.
Okay. So the way you organized the company at the beginning, launched a few businesses in the US to see what sticks. Printful was one of them.
Yeah.
He's still. Why is there a company in Latvia? Basically, that's my question.
Why you're in Latvia? So
yeah, why not? He was based in the US.
He was Latvian. So
why not? You see my question. My point is, why not just setting up shop in the US as a US company, which could have been an option. I'm not saying it's the right one, but.
So there's probably a couple of reasons why he's Latvian as well. So it's we are able to do business from Latvia, and it's also patriotic reasons as well. But the second reason is pretty probably obvious as well. It's cost. So imagine how many developers you can hire in the US versus how many you can hire in Latvia. So the costs which you have to invest to maintain a business is much lower here in Latvia. So, and it's easier as well as Latvians to do that. Of course, we have now a pretty huge team in the US. We have HR, we have facility where we are now slowly also hiring developers because of the time difference. They also need to be there. But most of basically project management is in Latvia. Around from those 1,800 people you mentioned, currently around 600 are in Latvia.
From 600 in Latvia, how many in the US?
600 in Latvia.
Yeah.
Most of them are in the US, so more than 1,000 people are in the US. So we have someone in Mexico, someone in Spain as well, but almost, I believe, hundreds currently in the US. And from those in Latvia, for example, is when developers is more than 100 people. So just in Latvia. And we are providing the service as, I know you see our website, and it's basically a tech company. But we're also a production company, so it's pretty rare for the production company to have a huge team of developers. So constantly figuring the ways how we can do production more efficiency and adding more value on our website to our customers as well that they become successful sellers online.
Understood. Another thing you said I want to get back to is you gave example of clients, so people who open a business only doing print-on-demand dropshipping, people who add a line of business to their existing businesses. I don't know, I'm selling cars, but I have a cool shop and I want to print t-shirt with my logo on the t-shirt. I could use Printful. And you said you also address like merchandise for, influencers. Let's take that example. What's the core of your business?
So core, our main are small and medium-sized online business. So smaller players, and very often they're happy with 10 orders a month. That's also the sweet spot. And most of them are...
Sorry, you said 10,000 a month?
10 orders a month. 10 orders a month.
10 orders a month.
Thousands different merchants. So
that's huge, because 10 orders a month to do 120 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have thousands. So in some way you can compare us with MailChimp or even core Shopify audience. So those are smaller sellers. Of course, they want to grow as well. And we have also sellers who can generate more than $1 million through Printful as well. But those are just a couple. And most of them are smaller players who want to do something. Very often those are either artists who know how to create art, or that's a marketer and entrepreneur who knows how internet works. So he knows how to find a niche and sell the item to them. And he just hires a freelancer, a designer to actually do the art. So those, I would say it's a typical audience. But there's like probably, if you will name an audience, it will be part of Printful in some or other way. Because we have bigger players as well. As you also mentioned, we are white label. But for example, Coca-Cola uses us as well. To sell a merch, and some other names. So and very often the most successful ones who generates the most are the ones we have no idea that they exist, because there's such a big room in e-commerce world that you can basically buy merch. We know those big words. ASUS, at least biggest in Europe, but there's so many players, and you see them on your Facebook or Instagram while trying to advertise you some merch. And maybe you bought something from one of our customers. Maybe it came from Printful. You even don't
without knowing it. Yeah, interesting. I want to address the growth and the culture, going from a few people to 1,800 in 6-7 years. You're gonna celebrate your 8th anniversary, right, this year?
Yes, this summer.
What was part of the DNA of the culture 8 years ago that is still part of it today?
So,
do you have motto, values, core values that don't change and really give the tone, set the tone for the growth?
Probably I'm also not doing the same job or don't have the same responsibilities as a year ago, because the only thing which is constant is the change. Because it's still, I know, part of the startup value. And I think for example, what I'm looking at everyone who's joining my team is come with your initiative. So if you see that doing something wrong, or there's an idea who could help us achieve your goals, speak up. And most of the people are still looking for those who think, not just do what we say to you. So we want to add some extra value with every people joining our team, that basically you are helping achieve our goals. And
do you have an example, a recent example of an initiative brought by an employee?
I can, for example, provide two initiatives on my own. So I know we were growing super fast. There were so many project managers and team of that. And every launch goes to the marketing team. And from time to time, okay, we need marketing resource. We need to promote this. Okay, when you're launching it? Tomorrow. Okay. And there was no transparency seeing what's happening inside the company. So I basically created a spreadsheet where you have to list all your project launches for upcoming weeks or months. We do not plan too far ahead because we have to replan, so it's not efficient. But that provided some transparency from my team and for also management team as well, so we know what's happening inside the company. So, and also this podcast, my team, my French team, were looking for this opportunity as well. So how can we increase awareness about print on demand, Printful to the right audience in France as well? So it's also one of the ways we're constantly looking for different directions how to grow.
Okay, very interesting. I watched a few of your presentations before, but you had also this culture of getting done, which is something that we like very much at Cosa Vostra. Is it still something that is accurate today? And how does it translate in a day-to-day operational?
Maybe it's not as important as it used to be because we are too big of a company. Because I can't just, it was a while ago where I wanted to change something on the website. I just found a developer and just did that. Now we have teams, so we have to a little bit collab, and you have to, in some case, get some kind of approval, something like that. But of course, we still, in some ways, we are scrappy. So you can spend a lot of time trying to proofread and then do everything as ideal as you can. But it's just better that you actually launch it. So basically, get shit done, that it's live there, and then you just improve on the go. So one of the things we recently did, we launched our own e-commerce newsletter. So basically, a totally fresh list where we every 2 weeks we send a curated content about e-commerce, about something which is relevant to small and medium-sized online businesses. There's a lot of things we want to improve, but the important part that, okay, we launch landing page, we create content for our first email, and then we work on the rest of the things. There will be much more things improved for that newsletter, but it's better basically done than you're waiting and trying to proofread everything and then work on details. It's there, and you can constantly get the feedback. So, and then Startup World, it's called MVP. As I'm a sports guy, it was the most valuable person, but no, it's a minimum valuable product. So it's something you learn when you join a startup.
I didn't say that in the intro, but Raitis is also a high-level handball player. He plays in the national Latvian team, and he manages to do that while raising 2 kids and raising a team from 5 to 90 employees. I want to continue on that. The organization growth. you need to put processes to just to be more professional, I guess, to handle 800 people and 1 million items per month, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that without losing agility, velocity, and in the operations? You see, how do you not fall in that trap?
So our main value, why we are at where we are with our company, is people. So if you hire the right people and you promote the right people to the middle management, to the management position, you will succeed. I have had some bad hires in past as well, so you also have to fire them, so get rid of them if it's not working. So it's the people are the biggest value that you can trust, and they can really pass the same values, same things you are doing as a manager to the next level. So that's the most important. Of course, you add process, you add spreadsheets, and then all that kind of stuff. But still, the biggest value is the right people at the right place. So I'm super happy with my team, which I have my direct managers who also manage like rest of the team. So of those 90 people, I just manage a little bit more than 10. So they're doing the most job. They're currently doing the most hiring. So I believe that's the biggest thing why we are able to actually grow the company and be the size we are currently are.
Okay. You said 10 people, right, in direct management?
Yeah, a little bit more than 10. I believe currently around 12, 13.
Okay, we don't want to
Yeah.
angry them. Tell me, what did you learn yourself in terms of management, growing from 5 people in direct management to 90 with a few levels? What are the main advices, insights that you can give us?
So I'm the ones people are coming for looking for tips how to manage people. So I have
in the company or in your team?
In company and then
Okay,
some as well. So I'm the ones who's like others are still managing like 20 people, which is not good. So I'm thinking about structure constantly. So when the way I manage my team, I know that I can't remember everything what they're doing or working on. So you have to come up with your own system. So and everyone has to be aligned. So okay, I will start a little bit from beginning. So one of our company's values is that we value feedback, and it's part of everyone's basically monthly life at that Printful. So you have employee reviews at least twice a year when you exchange feedback and you agree on the goals for every person. So he also knows what he has to achieve in the next 6 months. So that's an important thing. And all of those goals I add in a Basecamp. So I use the project management system. We don't use it as to manage all the projects, but I use to basically manage people goals. So you don't talk about them only at those employee reviews twice a year. So it's a topic you discuss on weekly or bi-weekly or monthly one-on-ones with them, that actually you have all the resource, everything in place. And Basecamp is not a spreadsheet. He will remind you about the goals. He will send you reminders. I will receive constant updates. So it's not just about email or spreadsheet. So he's actually doing job for me in some way. And every task has to have a deadline. And deadline is not always done task. It's also next step. We can also agree that, okay, it's not a priority right now. So let's push it for next month. And then it will be a reminder. I have to start thinking about that after a month. So, and of course we have, I mentioned those one-on-ones where you talk. Do you have any bottlenecks? Do you need any resources? Do you need, money, people, stuff like that? So actually can achieve those goals. Otherwise, we tend to give goals and then, we have to work overtime, or you have just too many goals actually to achieve them. So for you to, if you need a launch landing page, you need a developer. So one of the things, I came to the company, there was a landing page design, half a year ago. They were not, launched because there was no developer resource. And you have to fight with the IT team to actually, should you improve a product or should I launch a landing page? And guess which one? Product, of course. And now we have a team of more than 10 developers just in the marketing team that we manage their priorities, and no one from other team can get into that. So we can easily do our job. Otherwise, is the resource you're lacking. So you have to have system in place. There's no bottlenecks that can achieve your goals. And I do the same things with my manager as well. So I talk with him on priorities. I talk about things I'm missing. I have my own goals. I have marketing goals 2021. and we know that, okay, this is the direction we're going, like this is what we want to achieve. And I am pretty vocal with rest of the team managers, which are not the marketing team. So if someone not doing their job, which is not helping achieve marketing goals, they'll hear from me. So people learn how to respect marketing, because before that it was, okay, we'll know you at the last possible minute. I know we're launching this when it was live. Yesterday we need a landing page. So no, you actually involve marketing in the same place, same time. So constantly talking about, reminding about yourself, and basically coming up with a system that you oversee what's happening in that.
So the rituals you have is a weekly one-to-one, bi-weekly, monthly?
Depends on the person. So in some people I have weekly, some bi-weekly, some monthly. It depends. Do you need to talk with the person? So that's one thing. Like, you have to exchange feedback. So you have to talk with the team. So the golden rule for the manager to get to the 8 people in the direct management, it's basically how many hours are in the day you're working. That's how many direct you should have. Like, that's the maximum, because you should talk with them basically weekly, and it's not always possible.
The golden rule is how many hours you have in a day. Yeah. I mean, you're working a day is the number of managers you should have in direct management, right?
If you have 20, it's too many. So basically, because you have to spend time with them. You have to basically talk with them. They help you achieve your goal because you're manager.
So are you saying you're working 12 to 13 hours a day?
No.
So you have too many managers.
So I have that's why I have bi-weekly and monthly one-on-ones with some of the team. So it's basically where you should get. It's still manageable to do 12, 13. So I had 20 a while ago. It was bad. So especially when you have to do those employee reviews. So you have to get through that. And second thing is basically you have to trust them. So you have to allow them make mistakes. So when it's just matter how big is the mistake. So as well. So maybe my problem, or maybe an also advantage, that I trust people, and at the start you get 100% trust, and then you can just lose it. So it depends on them. I try to not micromanage them. So I allow them to make their own decisions and then learn from them. So that's the idea.
I'm reflecting on myself, and I don't know if my employees, my colleagues, my partners will hear this, but I'm on the same approach. You start with a capital of trust, and it's not like in the Fuckers, Meet the Fuckers, the movie. You have to enter the cycle of trust. You are at the beginning. That's how I work. And you can lose it. But basically, I love the test and learn approach with no matter how big the mistake is, if you understand, you don't repeat it. If you move forward, if you learn anything from it, that's a way to move forward.
It's what kind of bid you take. For example, if you're launching a TV commercial, which will cost in media costs, $1 million, it's probably you have to be part of that. But it's maybe an email to a smaller audience, which doesn't matter. So it's fine. Create your own content. If it's a blog article, also fine. So it's just matter where you have to be involved. And it's just the main thing that you have to be there for that person as soon as he joins. So you have to be basically not his assistant, but you have to assist them. Give them tips, give the feedback, exchange. So you have to be available. For example, I talked about I have weekly one-on-ones. As soon as the person joins, first 2 weeks we have daily one-on-ones. So daily hour that he knows you talk, and it's really important, especially while you're remote. If you're in office, you can just go and talk. While you're remote, you have to have that time in your calendar that you can talk, basically, that the person knows, okay, I can approach my manager. He will answer any of my questions.
Tell me more about the onboarding process.
My onboarding process sucked when I joined. So so I know that my manager was in the US and he just said, go talk with these guys. Now we have a document of 15 pages, documents, meetings.
For marketing team or for everyone?
For everyone, actually. And it's adjusted to depending on the team, but it's more than 15 pages. It used to be much smaller, but as we are growing, so there's not much in details. And it's also a place you can just go and find information, because you will not remember everything. So it's like your library has the meeting. So first 2 weeks, you're not doing anything. You're just onboarding. You're getting to know your team, company, processes, everything. So that's
literally, you don't do anything operational for the work, right? For the company,
You're not doing anything, so you're just learning about our company. So first 2 weeks, okay, you're slowly something doing in the end of the the second week. Of course, it's easier just to learn on doing something. Of course, and everyone also, you have some tasks. For example, anyone has to do a integration, Printful with Shopify or something else. So I have to basically go through the process. How do you do? Actually, because I know I have my e-commerce store, but I just got 3 sales in the last 3 years. So I'm constantly testing Printful on my own. And on second week, you get your own goals for your first 3 months, basically trial period, at least in Latvia. So that you also know what you have to achieve or have to work on your first 3 months at a company. So that's basically also your direction. So this will be the way how I'll see, okay, I will be successful. I will like it, what I do. And also manager will see, okay, he's getting to that. And everyone have at least one goal, at least in my team. It depends on everyone. You have to come up with 5 initiatives for whatever you're doing. So what should you start
in a year, in a semester?
In 3 months. It could be an email. It could be a blog article, even a title. So something new. You come with your own background, which you did before. So it's not always a groundbreaking campaign, which you do on a TV ad. It's maybe smaller things. I know something is not working in a collaboration between you and me and stuff like that.
So everyone has at least one goal, which is to suggest 5 initiatives for the next 3 months, right?
So he has different goals there as well, of course, which he come up, but that's
one of them. That's
one of them always.
Okay.
Not everyone achieve that, but that's just a mindset we want to put on.
I understand.
You're not just one who will execute things. I will say, you are also a thinker. So think of the way how you can help us achieve this or that, depending on the position you're working on.
I love that. Do you have I don't know how you say that in English, binoms? Let me just check in my dictionary, which chère audience, I have open on the side. A partner, a buddy inside the company when you arrive. Is there something that you can relate to, like
mentor?
Yeah, kind of. Do they work in pairs for the first 3 months or 6 months? Do they have someone to do?
So at the start, I usually added the language buddy. So because you're carrying content, so you have someone to get proofread. So very often that buddy or mentor is your direct manager, but some cases it's someone who does the same job you're doing, like you're onboarding on. Regarding my buddies, like mentor, I have a great CEO. So Davis, he gets marketing, so it's easy to talk with him as well. So that's is the important thing, because I get a green light to do experiment, because he understands what kind of value it brings. But other thing, what I'm doing constantly, I try to connect with different marketers all over the world. So very often I pitch them on LinkedIn. Hey, I'm doing that. I'm great at that, and I see that you're doing a great job. Maybe let's connect. Let's exchange our knowledge, what we have achieved. So that's how I learn about marketing, because my background, I have never studied marketing. No one taught me how to manage 90 people in the marketing team. So I constantly learn from others. It could be podcasts, books, but it also very often I can just ask the questions to another manager who maybe have gone through the same process. And I'm open to that. Also talk with other new marketers. So who also just, are growing really fast and hiring more and more people. So learning from other experience. So I would like to have a dedicated mentor that I could just talk with that, but haven't succeeded yet. That I have just one person. I just learn from others. So that's my mentoring, how I do that.
Okay, 2 last questions, and then we need to move on into marketing. Otherwise, we'll spend hours together, which I'd love to, but you might not have. So the 2 last questions are, and you'll answer in order. How much a role did your sport experience as a high level in Latvia handball player play in your management, in your day-to-day today? And the second question is, when you want to exchange with a team of 90, even a team of 1800, but you're a team inside a team. So what are the meetings, rituals that you have with the entire marketing team?
Great questions. Thanks. So regarding the sports one, so athletes are goal oriented. So that's also one thing you have to keep in mind. So why you're doing this. So if you don't have an answer to that, so then don't do that. So there should be a reason why you're working on that email or that task or anything. So why are we sending this? So what's the goal? How, and another one, how you'll measure that. So it's always forget. In sports, it's easy. You just score a goal or defend a goal. But at marketing, you have to basically have a system. So how will measure that it was point doing that. So goal orientation, I believe that's one of the things. But by the way, in the sales team, athletes also tend to do a great job. I don't manage sales team, but I know that salesperson.
There's a goal. There's a score.
Yeah.
There's a.
So, very often his salary depends on the results you achieve.
Yeah. It's much more palpable than in other industries are.
So that's one of the things. And at sports is also a great way how to take off your mind of things you did during your workout. So it's a time when you can't think about marketing, management. You just run or play ball. So this is also a great way how to relax. So I love about that. And regarding, I know we mentioned that it's hard to listen to podcasts these days because you don't commute. Last year, I hate running, but I started to daily runs. Like I had a calendar event at noon. I have to go run 5 kilometers, and then I listen to podcasts. So I created an environment I can run and just listen to something. Sometimes listen to music. It depends on the day. So and
creating new habits that respond to a need, and then that it's good for your mind, your body, and you can learn things. Makes sense. Yeah.
Habits are powerful. So I have 2 kids at home, so there's no time to do reading. Sometimes you just want to watch Netflix. But
how old are they?
1 year old and 4 years. So
1 year is still difficult.
Spend time with them a lot. So when
mine are 4 and 6, and it's much more easy. They play together. It's I kind of feel that I'm out of the den zone. The I don't know, the difficult part.
And then start school. Yeah. Hopefully not remote one. But regarding habits, so it's challenging to find time when to read books. So we just schedule 1 hour at 1 week that it's book time. So you have to just commit to that. So it's just creating habit. And regarding your questions about the system or meetings, which I have, there's a great book actually. My previous experience was, I know it was killing me with all the meetings. So, and very often by my manager, I was not able to actually get to her because she was at a meeting. I needed feedback, but she was at a meeting. So a great book, Death by a Meeting. So something to read about. It's very often that it's not too many meetings. It's just about what you want to achieve with a meeting. So,
chers auditeurs, je le dis en français, I'm going to say it in French, but Death by Meeting, donc mort par la réunion, qui est écrit par Patrick Lencioni. It's a great book. It's a great book.
Yeah.
And how does it impact the question I had, which is...
yes, he also has actually a great book, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, which is about team management. Both highly suggested. I've read both. Even probably I have to reread them because it was a while ago. So, and I have meetings. So I used to, every Monday when the team was smaller, we all sit down at the beginning of the week and we exchange our top 3 priorities for the week, everyone. Of course, it's now not possible. So everyone share their own top 3 priorities. That provided that everyone knows what they're working on. So you can ask questions. So you actually exchange information. And you can also, my way, that end of the week, I check what they did. Did they work on those priorities? Because they also report to me as well. And it's also the way how I can provide what's happening in the company. So I can provide what I heard from other managers, so I can give update. So that's Monday's meeting, everyone. Now I have 2 of them. I have 2 teams, content and growth team. So when I provide the update, they share their own updates. I also talk about, because very often it seems that managers are not doing anything. So also talk with my goals for the week. Otherwise, what do? I do not do any projects. I just talk in the meetings, it's in the podcast, and that's it. So, and that's the way. And we do the spreadsheet, and then they also have information they can pass to their team. So basically provide the blueprint how they can get information and share with their team as well. And the second thing, as a marketing, you have a lot of channels, social media, email, a lot of audience. We have a content planning meeting. We still plan just 1 week ahead. It used to be that on Thursday, and it's happening on Thursdays.
1 week only?
1 week ahead, because very often we have to replan. So it's not efficient. So we know, so there's maybe it's not finalized. You can put it in a calendar for weeks ahead, but that email on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, is this going on? So we just agree on that, because very often there's so many things changing, as we are still working as a startup, and I know testing didn't happen. So it's hard to plan something a month after.
I would think, and that's a problem that we have right now in the dev teams, but we used to plan 1 week ahead, maybe 2 weeks, and we need more visibility. And I would imagine that the cursor could be a little bit further ahead, so that you have ongoing projects that need more time that you can plan for the next, the next weeks.
No, we are doing that as well. So we know our priorities for upcoming month, but it's basically detailed. This email will go on Monday to this audience. It's in a calendar. This post will go on Instagram.
Got it.
LinkedIn. Every language is in place. So basically that you put on that exact day, that is not changing. We know what we're doing in the next quarter. We know for the year high level, and maybe it happened, will not, but it's that, okay, we are doing this. So you don't have to replan, because we know that things changed. We are getting better that we are planning also for a whole month in some cases, but still the week is the ideal scenario, that there's minimum changes, because it's the worst thing you can do. You plan and replan. So you basically are doing the same thing twice. Why? It's not efficient. So that's the idea. And then as we have our own company-wide all hands. Actually, one is happening tomorrow. So every quarter that you head of managers, heads of departments just share updates, also CEO talks, but we also organize our own for a marketing team, basically, that we get together. And my idea that I talk for just a couple of minutes, and then I give floor to some other people from my team that they talk about their projects, that we know that there's update needed. And my thing is that we always invite some other team, that they also give presentation. How can we be a better team, what they're working on? So you do basically both things together, because it's pretty expensive to have a meeting for an hour for 90 people. So you can
clearly, and
super often.
Super interesting. Let's move on, if you agree, to the marketing. I want to understand, what's the main pain you're trying to solve as a marketer? I formalized that question before. Why is there a marketing team at Printful, and what's your first goal? Is it to sell more? Is it to allow more e-commerce operators to add more easily the Printful API? What's the main pain you're trying to solve?
Probably two things. Still is captured interests where people are looking for to launch an e-commerce store or just order a t-shirt, something like that. So capture that interest online, whatever it could be, Google, something like that. Then acquire more customers. So educate more people that we exist. So basically awareness about category, about print on demand, and then about Printful. So we have to educate that something like that exists, that you can even launch your own merch line for this podcast as well, because it's easy. You don't have to invest a lot of time in that. Just put your logo on the t-shirt, and if someone buys, it will be there for you. And it doesn't cost anything for you. We'll just earn from every purchase. But you don't know that. So most people has no clue that you can actually do that so easy. It takes just less than an hour if you have everything in place. And the third one, we have to educate them how to basically be successful, onboard them on our system on the e-commerce world, because very often those people are working on, they have made a purchase online previously, but they don't have any idea how to run business online. They have to go through that to actually launch an e-commerce store. And basically in some way we are teaching others how to do marketing, how to do product marketing, how to do everything. So those are three main directions we are working on, because if we can capture the lead, we can educate, get more people, he will not succeed, there'll be no business for us. So we have to invest a lot of education, because the hardest part, it's freaking hard to launch an e-commerce store. 9 out of 10 will actually fail. Maybe their mom or dad or friend will buy something, But to actually get a sweet spot, you get regular orders on monthly basis. It's really, really hard because and one of the ways we are fighting for is people time, because we can sell an idea that's, hey, come to the Printful, create your own store. But when you have to start really actually getting into that, it takes all your weekends or your free time to actually get it done and launch successful if it's your part-time gig.
Capture interest, raise awareness, educate on how to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Can you dig into the 3 goals and the methods that you have?
So we are in a pretty sweet spot that we get most of the traffic organically. So SEO marketing, organic traffic, it's something we have probably not invested a lot from beginning. We were lucky a little bit, but now the mindset is ever. We had just one SEO specialist. We had even 2 SEO specialists, I know, a year ago. Now we have a team of 10 people. But
on SEO?
SEO, just SEO.
Okay.
And every language has SEO. So we're launching new languages. So we have 3 hires, 2 content marketers, and SEO specialists. That's our core team to actually launch a language. Now, we are doing that. We didn't do that, for example, for the Spanish language, but we are learning on doing that. We had to do a lot of optimization. But it's not like that only those people do SEO. What they have done is that it's a key value for the marketing team. So any content marketer, writer knows SEO basics and he understands the value. Because if you do it right, your content will be just promoted automatically. You don't have to, do that scrappy growth marketing stuff that you post somewhere online. You will just get traffic to your landing page, to your blog, if you do SEO right. Not immediately, of course, it's a long-term investment, but it's a pretty amazing place to be if you are the answer to their questions online. They have intention, so you just capture that.
How do you educate your content writers into SEO? Do you have an internal academy, or is it when you recruit them?
So our head of SEO is doing a great job on that. We have so much content on that. So everyone has an Ahrefs access, for example, and they have a presentation. They do 101s that you understand that basics. So that's it. And even we are doing also our developer school as well. So and head of SEO goes and talks about SEO there as well. It's not always about content. It's about speed and so many things we are not always sure about, that also developers treat that. For example, for us now to achieve the next step with our organic marketing is the developers core team is working on speed improvements, just to make sure that we are doing everything what Google loves on that.
So, mobile speed, response, and rebound. Yeah.
So many things, and it's just also about creating content generally. So that's also one of the reasons why we launched website in French as well. So to actually just capture those people are looking online for something we can provide as a Printful.
So 10 people in the SEO team, right? Okay. And what was the core team you said to launch a new country?
2 content marketers. So basically 2 people who knows the language as a native speaker.
Okay.
And the SEO person basically can do, provide SEO strategy basics at the start.
Okay. So that's for the organic part.
Yeah. Regarding the paid part, it's also important to have great partnership with e-commerce platforms. So one of the ways how we're getting a lot of traffic is from Shopify App Store. So it's a place where people are looking for different solutions. Because for an e-commerce platform, you to be their customer, you have to just have something to sell and provide that. So organically, people install our app and we get customers from that. So we have different partners.
Can we make a side note? Just a side step, sorry. It's going to be totally empirical. I don't know if you can say that, but what's your vision, your feeling about the e-commerce platforms and CMS across the world? Shopify is, you feel in every country is getting bigger. What about Wix, PrestaShop maybe, WooCommerce?
So I know Shopify probably is currently the best e-commerce platform. So you want to sell online, it's the best choice. Maybe it's not always the cheaper one, but probably will be most successful one because you still have to pay to them. And if you're getting started, it's provides everything there for you. Still, there's also alternatives, as you can probably put WordPress, WooCommerce, and PrestaShop in the same bucket because they're open source. So it's challenging for artists to deal with the hosting and then all that stuff. But it's probably will be a little bit cheaper. So it's open source is a great platform. And then more and more platforms are getting in e-commerce. Like, so for example, Wix and Squarespace you mentioned as well. But they're website builders. So you need a portfolio or a small website, you go with them. So it just basically enable now e-commerce on their website. So, and it's also a great option because that's where people world is heading. So there's so many big, so many good options. But I would probably say that. Another topic, and there's marketplaces like Etsy and Amazon. You can also go selling, but it's not always good if you want to launch your own brand. But it's not about, very often for you to be successful, it's not about e-commerce platforms, it's other stuff. It's actually what are you selling on that site, and what's your tactics, how you can get that person who actually are willing to buy that your website. So it's more about that part. You can succeed with any platform, it doesn't matter. But it's about that part, getting someone to actually buy what you're offering for that price you're setting up. So that's the challenging part for you to be successful.
You can be successful with any platform. It's about what you sell and who you sell, how you sell it. However, you can limit the friction.
Yeah. There's like, for you to launch e-commerce, so you have to make, probably 1,000 steps. You can minimize to 10 steps if I want to be simplified. But you can get it right with any platform. It's just up to you. So if you had to choose now, like if you are just getting in e-commerce, you want to play around, go with Etsy. That's big in the US and also in Europe. There's less friction to get you started to launch and see. If you want to launch your own brand, probably you have to go now with the Shopify. It will be easier. It's not always the cheapest option, but it's just easier. You can launch a store just probably a couple of minutes.
There's not collision, but there's a course of every actor in the world in the digital space that tends to go to e-commerce, and especially in the social media space. Instagram, checkout, shopping, TikTok is going that way. Pinterest is pushing to e-commerce. Is there a way for you to get new customers or to allow them to use the Printful offer value through those platforms without going through an e-commerce platform? You get my question now.
Yeah, how can you sell on social media? Yeah. So it's a trend I'm excited about because then you limit, basically, as you said, friction. So you limit the steps. So you can just be on Instagram or TikTok and just check out there because you don't have to leave the platform. So it's an excited direction. I still, for example, I don't get it why Google don't have an e-commerce platform you can just check out on Google search. So it's maybe there's some reasoning and why it's taking for Instagram to actually provide the checkout. They're experiment with that. It's all about integration. So Shopify is a much bigger player. So they already have integration with Instagram and other TikTok, I believe, as well. So you can just easily push the products there and you can check out. But Instagram haven't made this possible for everyone. So as soon as probably they have API, we'll go ahead and actually do that. That you can just push the products to Instagram and it will be your own website, basically site where you can check out for those influencers. YouTube is already doing that as well and in some way. So I'm excited about that. And we have to just integrate them and they will allow us to actually do that because we have integrations with everyone as well. So you can imagine a platform, you can sell on that with Printful almost if it's big enough. So it's not like currently you can, what can you do? You can just, accept orders even via Instagram direct messaging and just set a manual order on our website. So that's also possible, but you don't want to actually make it easy.
More friction.
Orders, probably not. If you have 5, it will just work just fine.
On the education, how to be successful for the new customers, the new partners that you have, the new, how do you call them, clients?
Customers.
Clients, yeah.
We have customers, but it's basically the same.
So how do you educate them?
There's
That's a tough question, or
we do so much. So one of key channel is actually YouTube.
Okay.
We have YouTube channel in English, almost 100K subscribers just for that, and we create every possible manual how to use Printful. And also a lot of general stuff, how to pick your niche, how to sell products, how to, I know, free marketing stuff. So about any you can imagine. We even have also YouTube channel in French, but it's doesn't have so much content on that. So we have blog as well in every language possible, also in French as well. So that's also the way how we can educate person about. We constantly work on our onboarding process. When you create an account in Printful, that what you have to do actually to get to the place that you launch your e-commerce. So we send the emails at the right time. You get the right information on your dashboard. So doing that. We post educational content on social media, also inspirational content, because sometimes you have to show that, hey, this is successful. You can also be like him. So that's, and then constantly thinking, oh, maybe what can we do? Maybe you can launch your own lessons, or we also played around with webinars in the past that didn't work fine. I know we tested, of course, Clubhouse as any brand in the past couple of months.
How successful? How successfully? Sorry.
Clubhouse, we tested it. Probably are not doing it anymore because YouTube is just better way where to invest our time. And as you know, Clubhouse is losing. I know LinkedIn, like white papers, like everything what you can imagine. We have tested that and improving. Yeah. Like the goal is that actually, as we also growing faster, we have to work with more general audience. Like Google search is good, but we invest a lot of money in paid marketing. So Google, Facebook, and Instagram as well. So also get a lot of general audience that maybe are not so willing or ready to actually launch e-commerce. So we have to constantly adjust our content. So provide the right content, the right audience for the beginners, those who understand something on the topic. And the goal is that more and more people get through the funnel. So that's our own KPI. So basically customer journey, how they move through it step by step.
We can give a quick focus to our audience, to you, beloved audience, on your YouTube approach. I say cher audience assez régulièrement, quite a lot, sorry. I don't know how it translates to, but dear audience. I count more or less 270 videos on your YouTube account, 100,000 subscribers.
There's already 100,000, yeah, already?
92. 92.5. Okay. 5.5 million views. But the interesting thing is that it's short videos, 4 or 5 minutes, 1 minute sometimes, and it's like getting started with Printful and I don't know, Shopify. I saw Squarespace, and then a lot of also insightful videos about how to use the glow effect on the design, things like this. So it's really informative, educational, interesting. Do you have what you are planning on those videos? Your editorial planning, it's like one a week, one a month?
No, for that we plan a little bit further ahead because it just takes
more post-production
more time. So you have to plan. The video should, if it's I know, there's a lot of unlisted videos. So if you go through our product catalog, you'll see a lot of product showcase as well. So it's just not listed on YouTube because it's not the reason why you subscribe to see models. It's the reason for the education content. So we also have to be careful about that. So we're planning more ahead. So video team has a content calendar and plan what they want to shoot in the future. So another reason is people, I'm not sure, but probably YouTube is the second or third largest search engine. Mm-hmm. Also the way how to capture a new audience as well. So that's why there's video about, glow effect, because not just people interested in print on demand will search for that, but anyone who's interested in art or creating something for merch. And it's also the way how to get new eyes on the Printful and print on demand to introduce something like that exists. So it's a big search engine as well that you can just...
Yeah, your most successful video is top 5 free design apps for creating t-shirts design. I understand that it's not only for Printful, but it can gather an audience, a wider audience, and
then you get them to a website. There's retargeting pixels, so it works as a machine.
So you have a real content factory. You have 12 or 13 managers, you said. What are their roles? What's your biggest, your departments?
So we have there's big teams, two teams. One is content team. So one is English speaking markets, There's social media content marketers who creates content, landing pages, everything. Social media, video team. We also have pretty big Facebook group, more than 10K members. It's in English, so we have 3 people there. So that's one direction. Then there's non-English markets, so Spanish, Japanese, French, German, Italian, and working now on Brazilian, Portuguese, and the Dutch language. So that's international team. So those are two big teams. And then the communication team also have the newest team is brand team. So it's PR, corporate social responsibility, employer branding. I know generally our language style and everything else, making sure that we write in the right way. So that's a content team.
Okay.
And then, as I call it, this growth team. There's onboarding and retention. Those are two people. And also in retention, reactivation, we have email team under it as well. But onboarding and retention works pretty together because emails are, also campaign sending. So you can't just put them under one umbrella. So collaboration is there, working together. Onboarding is generally to onboard everyone on the place that actually successful he follows.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Journey. SEO team also collab with everyone else. Then paid acquisition, so pay per click. So someone who managed those $1,000 we spend them. So have an agency behind them, so he works together. Affiliate. So we also have affiliate program, which is pretty successful. It's probably the best paid channel we have, but it has their own limitations because it's affiliate. And if you look on YouTube, you'll have a lot of review videos on Printful. Some of them are natively created, some of them are by our affiliates. So that's one. And affiliates are doing a great job because very often they are also content machines on their own. So they educate them how to be successful. So they're not just referring them as
they're doing your job, yeah. They're helping you do. Okay.
Of course, there's an analytics team as well. So we currently have one person. And did I miss anyone? So
you said something before that's very interesting in it, and I can reflect to it. I can. You have your own developers.
Yes, and of course, and their team as well. Though that's the third team. So we currently have one IT project manager, soon to be 3, and developer team of more than 10 people currently. So and they assist everyone on the marketing because for you, as we are an online business, we have to have some developers to actually work on the solutions we want to actually do. And we have also a lot of actually internal resources. So we develop our own Printful language tool that is just much more efficient to launch actually something. I know if it's a new landing page, you have to get translations in 6 languages. Either you can go on Slack and ask 6 people and then get the copy and then copy to that, or you can do that with one click of the button. And that's also is a tool we create internally that is just much efficient. We have a couple of more, which just helps us to be a better team, that our team is not so big as it could be without those tools.
Interesting, just to make sure I understand. So you set up a tool for translations that allows people internally because you have a lot of nationalities to translate into their language, but they're not always from your team, from the marketing team, right?
Yeah, as well. In every project, there will be someone from my team involved, of course, because you have to create content on an update or let someone know, but just about efficiency. And we have content marketers in our team. They're not translators, so because it's
content writers, maybe.
And it's also a tool connected with some translation agencies as well. So it's just easier and then faster, quicker, because you slow down as a company as soon as you introduce more languages. But we want to not to be so slow. We know that we are slower, but that tool allows us to be more efficient as a company.
Is it a constant fight? The fight against or to keep velocity and
the idea how you can probably maybe defend the idea that I'm a little bit slower, but in total I can do much more. So you're just able to launch more stuff and maybe not in a shorter time, but generally. So that's I have to constantly remind that's one of the hardest parts for everyone who's been part of the company for more than 5 years, because we were able to do that much faster. Why it's taking so long? So and then it's just learning curve or acceptance curve.
Exceptions curve. It's interesting. Cosa Vostra, I told you where we were preparing, is about 70 employees. If I add all the extras that work for us almost full time, we are close to 100. So we are more or less the size of your marketing team. And what you just said is very right. We fight to stay small, agile teams, but yeah, we're slower, but we do so much more and so much better, especially because we have experts. So it's an acceptance and of the new frictions. I don't want to say frictions, of the new processes, let's say, that arise. It's so interesting. Okay, one last question, maybe, and then I'll let you go to the your next meeting, maybe. How did the COVID affect Printful over the last year?
So it's stupid to say positively because it's the wrong thing to say.
It happens in the digital world, so
it's e-commerce. So yeah. It's hard to complain what it provided as a growth opportunity for a company, but it wasn't an easy start. So and last year was in some way like first month was a roller coaster because everyone was scared. They didn't know what's going to happen. Even I didn't know. So and people were scared to spend money. So our incoming order volume were going down and down, and we didn't understand what's going to happen. We started preparing early, so we already paused some marketing campaigns, seeing should we save some money to actually as challenging times are coming up. But then, and at one point, also in the US, both our facilities almost like didn't operate at all because of the government, because they said that non-essential business can't operate. So that's also one thing. And we had to shut down both of the facilities and spend late hours coming up with emails for saying our customers, sorry, it's just what it is. So you have to just accept that. And then it started to scale up. That at one point, like roller coaster going down, then an up. And we didn't understand when it's going to stop. There are some other events which also helped us, like Black Lives Matter as its community. So in other ways, how to provide that you also want to support the community is by merch as well. So that's also providing solution. And we saw the numbers as for a couple of months, as usually we just see that during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like at the quarter four. And it kept like that for a couple of months while we not able to work as a full capacity, maintaining social distance, we're also taking care of our customers. Because we were happy that we were able to work remotely, but there's no point of any other team if production can't operate at full scale. So at one point you had to, in the US, if you order a t-shirt today, you received after 2 months. So that was the demand of the resource and our option to actually scale up the production. So that was a fun time. In Europe, as the scale was much smaller and our most revenues coming from the US, we get back to normal much quicker. And the situation left where we had our facility was much better, but it postponed our plans to open Barcelona facility and Canada facility. So we opened Barcelona facility despite the pandemic. So that also was a fun time. And at one point, I think for 2 months, we did anti-marketing in the US. So
you did anti-what?
Anti-marketing.
Anti-marketing.
So the marketing team tried to lower the incoming volume that in the US, because we had to stop the demand for some categories in the smart phase, for example.
Manage expectations from the clients.
Manage. No, it's not about manage expectations, that putting barriers, which products you can add to your store.
Yeah, okay.
Putting some limits, adding warnings in every possible way that maybe, add posters instead of t-shirts at this point. And we didn't do any paid marketing for most of the year because things would happen and the world just did the job for us. So we achieved our best possible results without spending money. And what marketing team did, as in the US, we had to do anti-marketing. We focused on other markets, Australia, Europe. So we were looking how can we do the marketing there with the resource we don't have to spend in the US. So the paid marketing guy, he didn't have a job for a while. Okay, he were not doing his things why he was hired. So he started acting as a project manager for other projects as well. So, but then after a while, we started as they clear out the backlog because there was a line. Facilities were demanding for more and more volume because, hey, we don't have to do anything in a facility. We need more volume. Please, marketing team, do your magic. So that was a fun ride. And one of the main learnings for 2021 is that because we left some money out there because we are not able to convert them. So basically, we gave a present to our competitors. Like if you can manage, if you're smaller, take the volume. And main learning for 2021 is that facility production wants to be one step ahead of any other team.
Yeah,
they can take any volume because if they are not able to fulfill the orders, there's no point of any other team doing their own job as well.
Makes sense. I understand. Raitis, I was afraid, honestly, that because of my English, this would be a faster, a shorter episode. We've been speaking for almost an hour and a half, an hour and 18 minutes right now. It was very, very interesting. Thank you so much for your time, for taking the time to do that exercise. I'm the first non-American podcast that you do.
Yes, you're the first one. I have spoken with some folks in the US who moved there from Italy, something, but the first one in Europe. So that's
very proud. Thank you so much, Raitis. Thank you very much, the audience, for your time. If you're still here at this time, it means that it was interesting and understandable, which is 2 wins. I wish you all a very good day, very good week. Raitis, thank you again for your time. And talk soon.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. It was a blast. Hopefully, everyone learned something from my experience. So have a great day, evening, night, and great summer.
I'm sure we will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Merci d'avoir écouté cet épisode du Panier. J'espère qu'il vous a plu. Si c'est le cas, et même si ce n'est pas le cas, abonnez-vous pour ne rater aucun épisode. Parlez-en autour de vous et laissez-moi un commentaire sympathique sur Apple Podcast. C'est ce qui m'aide le plus à remonter dans les classements. N'hésitez pas non plus à le partager à chacun de vos contacts dans le business. Chaque nouvel auditeur intéressé est une victoire. Si vous avez besoin d'un accompagnement tech et créatif, que ce soit pour votre site internet, votre stratégie de contenu ou d'inbound marketing, n'hésitez pas à me contacter à l'adresse lepanier@cosavostra.com. À bientôt.